naturally blonde hair post-puberty and given a winter palette result, naturally red hair post-puberty and given a cool undertone palette result. What is going on? What is up with all this conflicting color analysis information out there? In my social media feeds, I see similar things as you, and I totally get, as a color analysis consumer, you might get a bit confused because, for instance, in my content, if you've watched it, you'll see that I say person with naturally red hair can never have a fully cool skin undertone. And that's because in the color analysis system that I use, it says in the color references to avoid red hair color, and somebody's natural coloring in the color analysis system I use will always be in the rough range of the recommendations for their color analysis palette. Perhaps you've even seen content, and I've seen it too, where somebody uses the same color analysis fabrics as me and says different things. It really just means they're using a different color analysis system and doing different color analysis checks, which is totally cool. And that's why I always say choose the system that resonates with you and read bios of color analysis professionals and see if the system they use resonates with you by looking at their training and experience in the system that they use. Perhaps view color analysis client before and afters and what have you. It's even possible that you get color analyzed by one professional in one system and are color analyzed as something else by another color analysis professional using a different system. Perfect example of that would be things like the blonde and red hair example. So the blonde given a winter result, person with naturally red hair given a cool undertone palette result. In the system I use, that would not be possible. Here's a look at example of this. This person has naturally red hair, and here's her in a smokier color, and she ended up being a spring, and so here's her in a spring color. Here's somebody who is with her natural red hair in this picture wearing a winter color, and here she is in her warm autumn palette result. I see some content out there too that gives a result of bright spring to people with naturally red hair, and that doesn't happen in the system I use because bright spring is the palette between winter and spring, and so you'll look at them and go, I can't tell if they're winter or spring, and here's an example of a bright spring in the system that I use. Some systems I've seen even don't cover colored hair, and here's an example of this. This person was previously color analyzed as a winter and thought for many years she was a winter, and this is her colored hair on the end, and her natural hair color is at her root. And so she had been coloring her hair for quite some time to align with her winter palette result. And here she is in her younger years with her natural hair color, and in the system I use, she was given a warm spring result. I even saw a video quite recently of somebody who did a color analysis of Emma Stone and gave her a muted summer result. It was just using pictures off the internet, mind you, but I know in the system I use, Emma Stone can't be a muted summer because the muted summer palette for hair colors says to avoid blonde, and Emma Stone's natural hair color based on an internet search says that her natural hair color is blonde. I'm not saying that professional's wrong, I'm just saying they're doing the analysis based on their system and doing different color analysis checks that I do. I've even seen a video of a true winter draped in a true summer metallic, which is this one, and a true winter metallic in the system I use, and the true winter was told that the summer metallic was better. And, this is a matte and smoky metallic in the system I use, and this is the metallic for summers, and this is the metallic for winter. So somebody in that color comparison who is a winter, the light, bright, and icy metallic would be better. So different color analysis checks are being done. All this to say is that it's really important to choose the system that resonates with you. you. So somebody who was in-person color analyzed with naturally red hair and given a cool undertone result would not receive that result through my color analysis process and my system that I use. And so this isn't about virtual or in-person color analysis. Even a natural blonde who was given a result of winter would never, in person or virtually in the system I use, be given a winter result. And so choose the system that resonates with you would be always my advice. Read bios. There's so much popularity around the color analysis topic right now. And one of the things that I tell people when I meet with, if they're talking or asking me questions about somebody else's statements on the internet, I always say, did you read their bio? What system are they trained in? Did they go to color analysis training? Do they have color analysis experience? And so read bios. Just like you hiring a plumber to address a plumbing issue, you probably you want to make sure that person's trained in experience and understand the system that they're going to use and what have you. And that's no different with color analysis. Choose always the system that resonates with you and go with that system. And client before and afters are fantastic tools for you to decide on that, because I find I could hold up fabrics to my face on videos and what have you. Sometimes people have trouble seeing the color analysis checks, and so client before and afters are great ways to help you identify the system. And also, I will say, if you are color analyzed in one system because you've chosen that system, use the color analysis references of the system you were analyzed within, because there are differences in color analysis references and colors recommended from system to system as well. I was at the June 2023 AICI global conference, and after my presentation, where I did a color analysis presentation there that had naturally coloring isolated where colored hair was covered, a couple color analysis professionals came up to me at the end and were surprised that colored hair was covered. And so, there's certainly different consensus out there, or lack of consensus, frankly, out there. And I even had a fantastic breakfast with two color analysis professionals who were very experienced in the field, and all of us used different systems. And what was said at that breakfast was, we'll never agree, perhaps, and come up with one standard color analysis system, but ultimately, there's no denying people into color analysis are so passionate about color analysis. I'm back from my cruise now, and I'm just diving back in to working away at things. And I wish you a lovely day. I have a busy day ahead.